Hi, my name is Monique Toussaint, and I am a leadership strategist who partners with executives and aspiring executives to strategize and identify solutions that promotes career success. Today, I come to you proud to be a monumental moment maximizer where I utilize tips, tools, and techniques to motivate leaders to maximize pivotal moments in your journey and achieve success. So, for our session today, I want to talk about finding your wealth within. What does that mean for you as an entrepreneur and as a leader? And so, to get us started, I want you to think about your future. So, if you would indulge me, I am asking you to close your eyes. Now, I can't see you, so I'm trusting that that's what you're doing. All right, so just go with me. It is 5 years from now. Your alarm clock is going off. You wake up. You feel wealthy. What's around you? Where are you located? What are you doing? Who's there to celebrate with you? And how did you get there? Feels good, doesn't it? Now open your eyes. So today, we're going to talk about how to get you there. It's one thing to think about what you want, it's another thing to actually get it. And so to find a wealth within, I want you to think about an investment in yourself. When we think about wealth, we think about money, we think about media, being an influencer, but I want you to think about mindset. And I want you to think about your success being a portfolio of the investments you make in yourself. Okay? So when you think about wealth, and what I want you to think about today is finding the wealth within you. What does that mean? If you have never heard me speak, I love acronyms. And so today, our acronym is going to be on the word wealth. Okay? So find your why. Why do you want to do what you're doing? Why do you want to be wealthy? What is it going to take for you to get there or to stay there? And then find your excuses and figure out how to overcome them, right? Find your allies, who's in it to help you. Find your legacy. What do you want to be remembered for? Find the time and find your how. Again, we are going to be talking about how to find the wealth within you. And your wealth is your why, your excuses, your allies, your legacy, your time, and your how. Now, if you would just give me a few minutes of your time, we can talk through what that means for you and how you should get there so that you can have the wealthy experience that you envision for yourself in the future. Whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 5 days, 5 minutes. I think you'll walk away in the next few minutes wealthier than you started today because you'll have a wealth of information to get you there. But first, let's tackle your mindset and figure out how do we get you to identify how to get the wealth from within. So what's your why? I'm just going to assume that you don't know. Some people might, so for those of you that do indulge us as we help other people hop on the train and meet us where we are. So first you want to identify your interests. What are you passionate about? What makes you want to get up in the morning? If you find your passion will always push you. Whether you're a leader or an entrepreneur, the things that you do are what motivates you. If you don't like it, it's very hard to do it. But if you can identify your passion and allow it to push you, it will make room for you. The money will follow your purpose, your passion. It will guide you on your journey to being successful and being wealthy. And then after you identify your why, you want to figure out the solutions. Are you the solution that people need in their life? Is what you're passionate about the one thing that will get you to wealthy? And then commit to making the investment to grow. Whatever that looks like for you, commit to it. Now today we'll talk through invest in time. We might even get to invest in resources. But if you discover that this is your why, then you need to commit to making sure that you are going to do what it takes to get there. As we talk about wealth, we talk about portfolios and investing money, but you have to invest the necessary resources into yourself to accomplish your goals so that you can be wealthy. So find your why. Next, find your excuses. Now, why would I tell you to do that, right? Most people will tell you, don't make excuses, make progress. But I want you to be real with yourself. Identify your most common excuses. And the reason I'm asking you to do that is because you have to figure out how to overcome them. If you don't figure out what your barriers are, or if you're a business owner, we do a SWOT analysis. If you don't know what your weaknesses are, you won't be able to push past them to accomplish what you want to do. And so I am encouraging you to find your excuses, not to use them as a crutch, but to identify them as hurdles that you need to be able to jump over to get to where you want to be. And then after you've identified those excuses, determine what resources you need in place to make progress. Okay? So find your why, find your excuses, determine what resources you need to make progress, and then find your allies. Part of that resource is figuring out who do you need to be connected to. Is where you are working for you? Is what you know working for you? Is who you know working for you? If not, there are a couple things you need to have in place. You need to have a mentor. Find someone that's where you want to be. Whatever area of life your source of wealth is going to be coming from, you want to make sure you can find someone or have identified someone that's doing what you want to be doing. Even if you feel like you are doing something completely innovative and nobody's ever done it before, there is somebody somewhere that's taking a risk. So find a person that's taken a risk and has broken the mold, even if it's not directly related to you, but you feel like they have accomplished something significant and they can give you the tips, tools, and techniques you need to get there. And then you also want to get a coach. Now, you don't have to pick me, you can pick anyone, but I encourage you to find someone that will guide you as you play this game. So think about your top stars. Michael Jordan is great. He's a legacy. He has done wonderful things, but he had coaches all along the way. So you want to make sure you have a coach that will give you guidance, that will check you when you need to be checked, that will evaluate your progress, and that will continue to help you grow, because you cannot do this alone. And then you want to think about your current network. So as we're talking about wealth in this conference, people say your network is your net worth. And again, mentors, coach, and your network. Do you know the people in the right places that will get you where you need to be? Are you a person of value? Do you bring value to a space? Do people want you around? You don't want to come across as someone that's using other people. You want it to be mutually beneficial. So even if it's something where you're receiving from them sometimes, then maybe you say, okay, you know what? I volunteer to do this. Or what do you need help with? How can you add work to your network? And how can your network add work to you? And that's why it's really important that you identify who your allies are. At the same time, part of being a leader, part of being an entrepreneur is knowing to cut your losses, right? So there's assets, there's liabilities. And so you only want to be connected to people and organizations that will be assets to what you want and what you hope to accomplish, and not to those that will hold you back, that will continue to put you in a place of deficit. And so it's a very tough place to be in, but it's something I'm confident that you can do. Okay? So find your why. Why do you want to be wealthy? What is it going to take to get there? What do you want to do that's going to push you there? Find your excuses, because you want to make sure that you know what's going to stop you, and you know what you need to to overcome to get there. And then find your allies. You cannot do this alone. No one can do anything alone. You have to be connected in some way, form, or fashion. And then find your legacy, right? What legacy do you want to build? Why are you here on this earth? What do you want to be known for when your time is up? You know, in 100 years, as much as I think that I should still be on earth, but in 100 years, what does Monique Toussaint want to be known for? Does she want to be known as a person that pushed you to your purpose to help you to build your legacy? I want to be a passion pusher that helps you to build legacy, but you have to figure out, what do you want to be known for? How do you get there? And what do you need to build it, right? So after you found all these things, your whys, your excuses, your allies, you have to figure out, how do I build this? What does this mean? Prioritize, prioritize, prioritize. Figure out the most important things to do first, okay? Organize it and then plan. Like, what's your legacy? How do you get there? What do I need to do? Who do I need to be connected to? It's all related. It feels like a lot right now, but it really isn't. You really got this. You have the power to create a future for yourself and for the generations after you, because you have the power to decide what legacy you want to build and how you want to build it and how you want to leave it. So we'll be proactive about that. And to do that, of course, you know, I'm not going to make assumptions. You may have heard of SMART goals, right? Being specific, being measurable, making sure it's realistic, it's relevant, it's time-based. And so just think about those things as you are building your legacy, okay? We're going to build it as we go. We're going to build wealth, but we're going to build legacy. And then you want to find your time, okay? Part of SMART goals is being timely, but part of finding the wealth within is finding time. People make time for what's important to them. Therefore, 1, keep your goals manageable. Remove distractions. Remember, we talked about your excuses. What are the things that are going to be in the way? Who are the people that need to be removed? What is your excuse? Are you your biggest distraction? Are you too consumed with perfection over progress and you don't get things done because you want it to be perfect? What are the things that are going to stop you? Figure out, how am I going to make time for the things that I say I want? Do you really want it? How bad do you want it? Because we make time for the things we want. I make time for this video because I want you to push through to accomplish what you want in life. I want you to acquire wealth. But first, for you to do that, you have to identify the wealth within. And therefore, you need to make sure that you can remove the distractions and make time for what you say you want. Finally, I want to encourage you to find your how. We talk about grind and hustle and grind and hustle and grind and hustle and how. It's one thing to talk about why. It's another thing to talk about how. Now that you know your why, I want you to figure out how. To do that, again, I love acronyms. I know one's a lot, two's probably too much. But I want us, because we talk about grinding all the time, we got to grind, we got to grind, we got to grind. I want you to think about this, because the how is more important, not more important, but just as important as the why. The why will motivate you, but the how will get you there, okay? So the why is the car and the how is the gas, okay? All right, so grind. Generate, generate, generate. Generate ideas, generate income, generate resources, generate partnerships, whatever you have to do, just generate. Research. There are so many things available at our fingertips right now. Do the research. Ask qualified people to help you. Find reliable sources of information. Find tools that make sense for you. And then invest. Everything worth having comes at a cost. Yes, there are free things, but you want to not only invest time, you want to make an investment. Just like if you would invest in the stock market, invest in yourself, invest in the coach, invest in the product, invest in the book, whatever it is that you need, that you say you want, invest in attaining the knowledge that is necessary to make you an expert in that. So people want to pay you, so people want to give you wealth, so that you know what you have to do. You're not just going to jump out there and put money in random stocks. So make sure that you take the time to invest in the things that make the most sense to help you be successful. And then you want to network. Network, network, network. Now, we talked about that with allies, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much right now, but just remember you want to network. And finally, above all else, you want to do. None of this makes any sense to just sit here and listen to if you're not going to do the work. So when you think about grinding, you want to generate, you want to research, you want to invest, you want to network, and you want to do. Do the work. All right. So I know it feels like we've been together forever, but time is coming to the end. And so I just want to remind you what it means to find your wealth within. Find your why. Figure out what makes you want to wake up in the morning. Find your excuses and figure out how to overcome them, because you do not, should not allow yourself to be in a state of detriment because you will not overcome what you already know is going to be a stumbling block for you. Find your allies, identify your network, and your network should be your net worth. Be an asset in that network and not a liability, and cut liabilities in your life. Find your legacy, figure out what you want to leave behind, and then work on building that. Find the time, make time to what's important to you, and find out how. Grind, 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 grind. You've got work to do. You've got people depending on you doing the work, and I am confident that you will do what you said you're going to do, because you want to build wealth, and we want to build wealth together. So remember, your success is a portfolio of the investments you make in yourself. Do it, do it, do it. Find the wealth within. I have enjoyed talking to you today, and I want to give you a gift. So if you would do me the honor of visiting monumentalbusiness.com/gift, again, monumentalbusiness.com/gift, there's a leadership growth checklist there waiting for you. You will take the time to assess where you are on your journey, where you want to be, and then decide how do you move forward from there. We don't know where we're going if we don't know where we're coming from. And so I just want to thank you for your time. Again, my name is Monique Toussaint. I am the president of Monumental Business Solutions. I am a leadership strategist excited to partner with executives and aspiring executives about identifying strategies that help them to grow and blossom and walk in their purpose. And I want you to stay connected to me. I am on Facebook at Think Monumental, Instagram at Think Monumental, monumentalbusiness.com, Monumental Moments on YouTube, and I can be reached via email at solutions@monumentalbusiness.com. If you have an idea, we have a plan. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your investment. And I look forward to hearing how you have decided to find the wealth within. Go forth, be prosperous, be purposeful, be profitable.